Hello, my name is Tony Belcourt, founding president of the Métis Nation of Ontario. At long last, the Métis National Council's independent expert panel report has been released. It concludes that the Métis communities of Ontario are in fact a part of the larger historic Métis Nation. This is no surprise to me. I've known this for over 54 years, ever since the Métis organizations on the prairies formed the Native Council of Canada in 1971 to advance Métis issues at the national level. They did so with the participation of the Northwest Ontario Métis Association. I know this because I was there. And because of that long history, it is no surprise that the Métis leadership on the prairies fully endorsed the Métis Nation of Ontario when it was founded 31 years ago in 1994. Later that year, at the Métis National Council General Assembly, the MNO was voted unanimously as a full and equal governing member of the MNC. Regrettably, within the last number of years, some leaders, primarily from Manitoba and Saskatchewan, began to ask, are they part of us? In 2022, the Métis governments of the MNC in an annual assembly approved a resolution to appoint an independent panel of experts to investigate and report on that question. The Métis National Council's expert panel was given a simple mandate. Do the 7 historic Métis communities of Ontario belong to the Métis Nation? Their investigation was to be done independently and through the lens of the definition of Métis that was adopted by the Métis National Council in 2002. That definition came from years of debate and consideration by the MNC's Métis Rights Panel, which I chaired, and which included MNC President at the time Clem Chartier and MMF President David Chartrand. Naturally, I am extremely pleased by their conclusion, and I quote, "The panel concludes that the 7 communities represented by the Métis Nation of Ontario meet the national definition established by the Métis National Council." It goes on to say, "Thus, it is our expert opinion that these communities are integral to the Métis Nation and its homeland." You would think that this would lift the heavy weight of denial over the legitimacy of the Métis communities in Ontario, but I'm deeply disturbed by what it took to get here and the swift and flippant denunciation of those conclusions by some Métis and First Nations leaders. I'm in my 80s. I've seen and experienced discrimination and racism all my life. My mom and dad went through that, my brother, my sisters, so did my grandparents and my ancestors before them. It's come from outside our community, but sadly it's come lately from within. It's demeaning, it's humiliating, and it's painful. There is no way to calculate the undue amount of harm, mental, and negative physical well-being our people have suffered through these past few years in Ontario. As our communities have been scrutinized, our people told they're not recognized, or that their very existence has been denied. Our people have seen Métis leaders call them frauds. They've even been told by a chief visiting their school that they have been told lies all their life about who they are. What kind of adult would do that? But it hasn't always been that way. Before this latest campaign to eradicate the Métis people in our communities from the face of the earth in Ontario, we worked closely with both Métis from Manitoba and the Chiefs of Ontario. David Chartrand and all other leaders of the prairies were there to support us at the Supreme Court of Canada in the case of R.V. Powley. And they were there to celebrate our victory and benefit in that affirmation of our Métis rights. And we were also blessed with strong ties and good relationships with First Nations in Ontario. That's because we had begun the renewal of our nation-to-nation relationship with the Anishinaabe Nation that was honored in ceremony at Kettle and Stony Point First Nations in 2005. Before that, we had signed a political protocol with Chiefs of Ontario that brought us both great benefit in dealing with governments on issues of common concern. We dismissed their attempts at divide and conquer. I remember when the Chiefs of Ontario refused the attempts by the Government of Ontario to intervene on its behalf at the Court of Ontario appeal in the ruling by the lower court that had affirmed the existing constitutional right of our people to hunt and fish for food. It is my desire, my hope, that those who have denied the existence of our people and our communities in Ontario will do the honest thing and at least read the MNC's expert panel report, its mandate, and what it says about the 7 historic Métis communities of Ontario. I hope that they will follow our teachings of honesty, truth, humility, and respect, and begin a dialogue with our people, whether that's at work or in the community or on the World Wide Web. It's time for healing. If you believe in truth and reconciliation, then let's put those recommendations in action. There is far more to be gained in unity than in division. We've proven that before. Let's do it again. Exe, hi hi.